Did you?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, brother.
No. Did you see the conclusion?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. They said conclusion. The
Hmm.
study investigate employee subject experience organization change at the company. This
Right.
is it will be blah blah blah. It will be the most important here is the three main group will identify emotionally and process and the outcome
Hmm.
and attitude acknowledge. Yes, there were main similarity of issue identify executive super. Yeah, when we talk about executive and supervisor and then supervisor, we talk about here about the hierarchy.
Hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, and many of these differences can understood. And okay, the future research. This is very important because I find three items here. Future will represent important issue. Just a minute.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah, we could say if someone asks us about the future research,
Hmm.
we can conclude in 3 points, which is the
Yes.
first one, which will represent important issue regarding employee
Hmm.
perception due to the private process. That means how the employee could or should imagination or have imagination or have any idea about the privatization process.
Right.
The second one, it was need to understand the organization as intergroup
Exactly.
structure, which is individual interact as a member of single organization. Could
Exactly.
you just a little bit it's here. Did
Yes.
you see it?
Yes, I can see those.
Yeah. Could you just give me a little word about it?
Yeah, sure, brother. It says the study also, this is the second point. Future research means our recommendation. Our recommendation to the
Yes.
policymakers and to the educationists and to the further researchers. It says the study also highlighted the need to understand organization as intergroup structures in which individuals interact as a member of single organization but also within separate, also overlapping group. It means it is showing that in organization, people actually behave in two ways. The one way is individual interact with each other as a member of single organization, like employee of an organization. They interact with each other, they share their experiences, they share different organizational processes with each other and keep on moving. And the other side is they also act as separate entity. It says, but also within separate, although overlapping group. Like people are working as an entity, every person in itself is an organization,
Okay.
and they also interact with each other. Finance department has to interact with HR has to interact with marketing. So there is also an overlapping, and every department and every member in itself is also an organization.
So, number three, it was the group moreover individual within organization multiple. Yeah, as over study,
Hmm.
uh, it was a cross-sectional, which means it's limited with time and it will be valuable for the future researcher to obtain data.
Hmm.
And it's mentioned here,
Hmm. Yes.
other identify. What's the meaning of organization identity?
Let me see. It further says that moreover, individuals within organization possess multiple identities, reflecting roles and positions they change over time. Like every person has different roles, so every person has multiple identities in the organization. The present study addressed the effect of privatization on NWC employees according to hierarchical level, because we got the interviews according to the hierarchy of the people. We didn't get interviews without asking the hierarchy. However, it says other organizational identities are also important for shaping the perceptions of change. This is a limitation as well as a recommendation. It says other researchers also, there are other organizational identities as well, like hierarchies are one of the identities. Manager, first line manager, lower manager, and staff member, these are the hierarchies we studied in our research. But this research should not be limited to only the hierarchies. It says, however, other organizational identities are also important for shaping the perceptions of change. Like other identities also affect the perception of change. For example, establishing professional group identity is an important predictor of perceptions, particularly where the proposed change threatens established professional group. This is we are talking about a particular group of people who should be expert in making the perceptions of the people. And if the change give a danger sign to this professional group, then it means the change will bring negative impact to the organization. Are you getting me, or I need to elaborate it more?
Yes, yes, yes. Uh, uh, so could we concluding for this point as the identity of personality of the employee?
Yes, we can say. We
We
can
can
say.
say this.
Yes, we can say this. Because every employee has its identity to a particular professional group. For example,
Yes,
if you are working in the finance department, you will have more stakes and more interest and more relationship to the people of finance. So professional identities are also very important. The person who belongs to finance group will have this will have impact on his perceptions. So in order to gauge, in order to measure the perceptions, the professional group is also very important. Although we have not measured this element, professional group, in our studies, but we are accepting that this should happen for the future research, brother.
come on. Okay. Um, pra- um, Practical implication.
Yes.
Uh, we, I conclude that one to 2 point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you are agree with me or not, which is for policy maker and to improve the communication and get the employee involved. I mean,
Hmm.
when
Right.
the policy maker is make their decision or strategic planning on privatization, even to move totally to the privatization or gradually or doing their step to move toward the privatization, they have to
Hmm.
make sure they have the they have to be put in front of their eyes the
Yeah.
employee how to acting with that moving toward the privatizations.
True. Yes. You are rightly saying. Right. I agree.
And the second one is to improve the communication and get employee involved
Should be
because
informed. Yes.
yeah, many of actually I will not say many, I will say 90%
Yes.
of
Most of.
especially the low level in hierarchy,
Hmm.
they was they was argue that they don't know anything about the future plan. They don't know where they are going to. They don't know what will going on, what will happen.
Yes, yes.
And
There was
and
uncertainty, yes.
yeah, and this is represents the uncertainty in the field, and
Exactly.
this kind of uncertainty, it will affect uh, the whole process.
Exactly. You are making right points. Very nice. Nice. Nice interpretation. Yes. True.
This group manager may be more concerned about broad data, and this one, no, it's okay. Okay, limitation. Okay, uh, could we conclude the limitation?
Yes.
Uh, could we read the limitation together?
Yeah, please. Yes.
Despite the fact that study produced valuable information regarding impact of privatization and organization change to the employee, certain area of this research were restricted.
Hmm.
First, the study was limited to only the case, namely the company in the KSA, which is the national water company. Privatization can take number of forms, such liquidation of company or total diverge, such as 100 ownership by the private investor or 100 ownership by the local investor.
Hmm.
Exploration of all the values from the prices by focusing on more than one case study, which
Hmm.
means we take one case in the privatization, and especially for that one case, we study the employee case.
Yes.
Yeah, the privatization is a big circle, and we take one case of that circle as a national water company, and we don't study the all privatization aspect. We just uh, investigate the impact on the employee coming from the privatization
Exactly.
process.
Exactly. This is the limitation. It becomes our limitation. You are explaining it right.
Okay, the second one was the data refill.
Hmm.
The second main limitation of the present was associated with the nature of the research topic.
Hmm.
Seeking data from employee regarding the impact of privatization can be challenged,
Yes.
and there were therefore difficulty of obtaining relevant data, and sometimes the data was valuable differed from the response to another. Could we?
Yes.
Could you just give
Yeah.
me
Let
some
me
more about
explain.
that?
Yeah. It says it is this limitation I'm going to explain you is is normally the part of 95% of the qualitative researches. It says that the second main limitation of present study was associated with the nature of the research topic. What was the research topic? To gauge, to measure the perceptions. So to measure the perception is not easy. Why? It says seeking data from employees regarding the impact of privatization can be challenging, and challenging how? There was therefore difficulty in obtaining the relevant data, and sometimes the data was available differed from one respondent to the other. For example, if Naif is working in finance department, Faraz is also working in finance department, I ask you question, are you satisfied with your salary? Naif says, Alhamdulillah, I am very satisfied. And Faraz says, no, I am not satisfied. The policies are very wrong. So there is also a difference of data against the one question. So
Yes.
this becomes a big challenge. When we make themes, then themes become opposite. One says
Yes.
not satisfaction, and other says satisfaction. So this is also a limitation. This is also a restriction on our research. It becomes limitation in this way. And sometimes it also happens that employees intentionally do not want to give a proper response. They do not want to disclose about their salaries or about the benefits. They have some fear in mind and they want to hide information. So it becomes a limitation in that way.
Okay. Um, the resulting limitation was addressed by ensuring that other sources of accessing the same information were deployed. For
Yeah.
example, when certain information was not clear covered by the study questionnaire, the same matter was addressed in the interview.
Yes. This is a very important point. Sometimes they ask, Brother Knife, you used a questionnaire as well as interview. So why you used both? So this is the answer for that, brother. Sometimes an employee can hide his information. So when you ask the same or similar question again in the interview, maybe you will come to know, oh, there is a difference of answers. So it means there is some problem with that employee. So you can either remove that answer or you ask the question again from the employee. So this is also the reason why we use questionnaire as well as interview. So
Okay.
and please remember this if they ask this question, because this is quite normal. They
Okay.
ask this question.
The final limitation of this study was sampling technique employed due to time and
Hmm.
cost constraint. The study employed confidence sampling. A
Yes.
more comprehensive study might be conducted with sufficient sample size by employing random sampling technique to eliminate and possibly bias. Could we say here also, because it's our method was a qualitative, qualitative,
Qualitative.
qualitative method, and it was a sectional, cross-sectional way.
Yes. Yes.
And it was we use a convincing sampling because our time is limit and our finance resource too is limit.
Yes.
So a comprehensive study might be conducted with a sufficient sample size, and
Exactly.
also it might be uh, take
It
its
might give
time.
more better and more rational result if you have
Yes.
sufficient time and sufficient resources. Then we should not apply convenience sampling. So result would chances of better results. So this is also a limitation.
And this is Alhamdulillah, we have finished from the review.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
And um, just right now we want to going to the email.
Hmm.
And do you have that paper? You send it to me? No.
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry, what you saying?
Do you remember the email that
Yes,
you share it with me? Do you have that paper or no?
I have. I have. Do I need to share the screen with you?
Yeah, yes, please,
Yeah.
because I don't
Okay.
know how this one is.
Let me open that paper and then I will share the screen with you, brother. It's Major Knife. This is university response. This is our email. Okay. Uh, Let me share the screen with you, brother. Mm, so I just shared it with you. Yeah. Can you see that screen?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So this was the email,
Okay.
brother.
Yeah. The first concern, uh, it was about, you scroll down, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Aside from excessive word account.
Hmm.
Okay. This is the the first the first concern.
Hmm.
Uh, the supervisor, I know what did he mean, because he said He thought it's a 15,000, but
Mm-hmm.
in fact, in the textbook, it was 17,000.
Yes,
So
exactly.
yeah, to absorb the the reading while he's the reader while he's reading,
Mm-hmm.
we will give him this like a relaxed injection
Yeah.
to make our side is a little bit. We will say
Mm-hmm.
uh, regarding to the first notes, which is uh,
Excessive word count.
excessive word. Uh, could we say we understand that our professor the professor said that, but in fact it was in the text it was 70, or I going to directly I said uh, my reply to the first concern was about the word account, and the word account is in the limit which is mentioned in the textbook. It was 17,000.
Yeah, we should go like this way. Yes, my reply regarding the first concern. Yes, it's better to answer them as per their concern, concern number one, two. It's better and easy for them to understand also. Because they are also human being. We should make things simple for them to understand.
Okay, okay. Um, I, I'm so worried about something, brother.
Yeah, please tell me.
First of all, could you give me answer for that one, the second concern?
Second concern regarding this Turnitin points to
Yeah.
this one, brother.
Yes. What
Yes,
will what were the ideal answer we should say?
brother. Uh, I suggest you, just like other students, professors now, we should accept it as a mistake from our side. Uh, we should accept it. Keeping in view our preparation and convincing them about our grip on the thesis, that we know everything about our thesis, still we should be apologetic and we should be sorry about this thing, that uh, unfortunately we sent you the file where acknowledgement was not given to Mr. Johns. And we know, being a uh, student of research, we know this is not a good practice, but rest assured, we gave acknowledgement to all the references and all the researchers in our thesis, but unfortunately, we forgot about Johns et al. Because there were many other problems going on, like you mentioned about corona, and you are far away from your supervisor, and there were some health issues of your wife, etc. So we can say, because of those things also, we forgot to acknowledge John Zettel. This is the mistake we acknowledge. But believe me, this is not a mistake on which they can delay our thesis for 6 months or 1 year. Inshallah, I will not, inshallah, make it to delay you even for one day. These are the comments from them, but brother, believe me, my friends and we have been getting much harsher comments than those, and inshallah we will fulfill all those comments easily. But regarding Turnitin, we should be apologetic.
Okay, I will apologize. And okay, what if he say, okay, it's your mistake, while you don't reference or you didn't mention the writer of that articles,
Hmm.
but as you say, it was it seems the most quotation, including the finding section, have been copied verbatim and
Hmm.
or else paraphrase from Jones.
Hmm. Yes, actually, the background of study of Johns. was quite similar because he was also measuring the employees' perception about organizational change. But we were measuring the perceptions about the privatization.
Could
And
you say it again, please?
yeah, Johns was also measuring the perceptions of employees, and we, in our research, we were also measuring the perceptions. Therefore, there is a similarity, and Johns is not alone, brother. Our study has more similarity with many other researchers. But the thing is, we acknowledge their research. That's why we have not got it into the Trinity. The only problem is we didn't acknowledge John's. That's why it became little problem for us. Everything, when we will rephrase it and write it in our own words, then nobody
Yes.
can say that you have copied from John's. That because even our research becomes similar with other researchers even more than John. When you will go to
Okay.
references or you will read the papers there, because whenever somebody measures perception, he will get some or similar answers, because the mentality of the employees working is almost the similar everywhere. But we have to tell them that please give us a chance. This is our mistake. We apologize. We could not acknowledge it. Please give us some time. We will send you the revised copy where we will fully acknowledge John. And as a researcher, this is our ethical duty. Just like we acknowledged all other researchers in our study, we will also acknowledge John's et al.
Okay, brother. So finally, it's unclear what the role of expert, the interviewers, and coding volunteer play in the designing as well as carrying out the research,
Yes.
and the extent to which any of the empirical content of the dissertation is therefore work of the student.
Here at this point, if they allow me to speak, basically this point, we need to speak, both of us we need to speak. But if they give me the opportunity to speak, inshallah, I will satisfy them. How? Let me answer to this concern. If they do not allow me to speak, then you have to tell them. First of all,
Okay.
you have to tell them that, dear professor, this is I am the student and I am responsible for this work. I conducted all this work by my own. As far as your unclear unclear role of expert is concerned, so let me tell you, I am we should you have to accept that I am not a very good expert of qualitative research, or I am not a good expert of interviews. So just like other students, either I needed to seek the help of my supervisor or I needed to seek the help from an expert. So one of my friend who is expert in qualitative research, I contacted him and he offered himself as a volunteer to this study. And what we did, we have not everything actually mentioned. We do not need to mention everything in the thesis. But yes, when we are saying them, we have to tell them. What we did, that you conducted, Brother Knife conducted the interviews, and he wrote the answer of the interviews, and then he shared the answers with me. Then we sat together on online platform on Zoom, and we shared the screens of the interview responses. And then Brother Fraz, who is the expert, he guided me to develop themes, and he developed 12 themes, and then said, Brother Knife, these could be the possible themes. And Faraz also took help from his supervisor. And if they ask that how Faraz is qualified for an expert, then you can say Faraz is going through the final stage of his PhD, and Faraz has been presenting his research papers in Germany, in Romania, in Italy, etc. And you can see his profile online also on Google Scholar or on ResearchGate. So they this means that Faraz is an a competent, you can say, uh, interview expert. It's not just like in words, but you can see his profile, so that they may accept it. They should accept it that yes, he acted as a, you can say, as a helper for brother Knife. But you have to tell them you conducted the interview by yourself and you wrote all those transcriptions with your own hand. Faraz was there to help you, because we do not have to give them an intention that I worked more than you.
Yes.
They should realize that Knife worked, but because his supervisor was not there due to corona, he was not able to go to libraries and sit there. So that's why he took the help of an expert, and this is a general practice in these days, especially in corona.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they said the role of expert. The expert here is Mr. Faraz. He was the expert because I conduct the interview and I conduct the questionnaire and I write it down all the answer and I make all the answer is separate and then I send it to the expert and say this is the answer I have received and I have wrote from our interview. How
Hmm.
we could make it as an a private what they call it SBCC or what something using computers
Yeah,
to
yeah, SPSS.
could we use this one or no?
No, we should not use SPSS because SPSS is purely a quantitative software.
Quantitative. Okay.
Yes, that's why. You can say I sent my answers to Faraz for making themes out of
So,
those
okay.
questions.
Okay. For making themes.
Yes.
For making themes for the answer
Hmm.
to analyze that we have the themes
Yes.
because as my knowledge
Hmm.
I find almost like 42 themes that
Hmm.
which I think I find it
Hmm.
but when
Hmm.
we talk to Mr. Firaz
Hmm.
we minimize it to three category that have all the 11 themes
Yeah.
we talk
12.
about it in our thesis.
Yeah. 12, brother.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, 12.
So you can
And
say
because
Faraz squeezed it. Me and Faraz discussed with each other, and we came to a consensus that our themes should be 12 rather than 40, because
yes,
many themes were very similar and repeating. So we removed the themes which were repeating, and the 12 themes were not repeating, and we squeezed them to a number of 12. And then we divided them into three categories.
and I will add something. I received the answers and the questionnaire, and I fill it down on the paper, and then I translate it by myself to English, and
Hmm.
then I send it to. We have a meeting together
Hmm.
to discuss how we could make teams
Yes, brother.
for this answer
Yes, yes, brother.
and as my knowledge because there is a quite similar answer but in different side like when they talk about the experience or when they talk about the finance or they talk about the training many of people they talk a little bit different and
Yes.
I thought in myself I thought each answer they have to be a themes
Hmm.
but Mr. Firaz, he was clarify for me that uh, we should using themes for all category and describe them under one subject.
Exactly,
Like
exactly.
like when we talk about the leadership or when we talk about the uncertain, we have to make it one themes rather than more than one themes related to the same topic.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes, yes, yes. This is good.
Okay, so we finished from the expert. What about the interviewers?
Yeah, basically, expert and the interviewer, they are confused about this. That's why the interviewer is not me. I am the you have to tell them that expert and interviewers are not the same.
Yes.
Interviewer, expert, and coding volunteer are the same, which is Mr. Faraz. But
Mhm.
interviewer is not Mr. Faraz. Interviewer is Mr. Naif. This is their confusion. We need to address them. We need to clarify them that expert and the coding volunteer was Faraz and the role played you just told me, and
Yes.
interviewer was Mr. Naif. You are the interviewer.
I'm the conduct the interview.
Yes, because you conducted the interviews and then translated them into English.
Play design and the coding volunteer. The coding volunteer is Mr. Firaz.
Yeah,
What's
coding
the difference?
volunteer.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, please ask.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Coding volunteer means a person, coding means making themes, brother. Coding is not something different. Coding means
Okay.
it's a similar to making themes. So coding
Okay.
volunteer and the expert, they are the same. They are the same word, same in
Okay.
their nature. Yes, brother.
Okay. Play in designing as well as carrying out the research
Hmm.
and the extent to which any of empirical content to the dissertation is there for the work of the student.
Yes. He is asking about, he is actually asking this question. He is saying,
Okay.
I am not sure that the role of expert and interviewer, role of expert or coding volunteer and interviewer, they are the same or they are the three people. And the empirical content of the dissertation, empirical content mean all the citations and all the material that is mentioned in the thesis. Is it the work of the student, means Mr. Knife, or is it the work of the expert or coding volunteer? As per my understanding, the supervisor is thinking maybe that they are the three people, three different people, the expert, the interviewer, and the coding volunteer. So we will make him understand that there were not three but two people. The coding volunteer and the expert is the same person, Faraz, and Nice is the interviewer, and all the empirical content, all the citation references of the dissertation is the work of Naif. It is
Yes.
not the work of Faraz or the not the work of coding volunteer or the expert. It is the work
Paras,
of Naif.
the only job was for Paras is to help to use the coding for the categories
Yes.
and for yeah it just for aesthetic things like for coding
Yes, for coding. And coding means making themes. Themes and
making things.
coding are the same thing, brother. It's just like coding, like 10 sentences, we converted them, we coded them into one word. This is called coding. And in qualitative research, we use the word theme rather than coding. Coding word is normally used in quantitative research, and the similar word for coding, which is used in qualitative research, is theme generation.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So
تمام.
coding and themes are the same words, brother.
Alhamdulillah. That's all from me, brother.
Yeah, inshallah. And tomorrow, after tomorrow, inshallah, there is meeting
Sure.
time.
Inshallah. Today, what do you recommend I should do today?
But then
Read again?
you should read as much as possible.
Okay.
You should leave literature, you can leave, but read abstract as many time as possible, and then read chapter number 3 and chapter number 4 to onward. And if
Brother, yeah,
yes,
go ahead.
yeah,
Go
if
ahead.
they give us, inshallah, they will give us chance, inshallah. I know it, I believe it. If they give us a chance to resubmit the revised copy, you don't have to tell them I will submit in 1 day. We can submit within 10 minutes also. So I have prepared everything, but I was discussing with my supervisor. So he said, Faraz, do not give them an intention that this is very easy work, because the qualitative work you do not have to give them an intention. You tell them, okay, can you give them 1 week or 10 days, if they ask, otherwise you don't say anything. If they ask you how many days will you require to resubmit it, you can say you can give us 10 days or at least a week, just to show them that you will work more and more on it. Because when a student says I can submit it right now, it gives an indication, it gives a view that, oh, he is taking it very easy, he is taking it very normal. So we have to tell them that we have worked on it, and now you are giving us time, so we will work more and more, and we will improve its references. We will update the references from 2020, also from 2019. So inshallah, uh, I was thinking that you can also take it for publication after that, inshallah.
Brother, when I was revise my, I noticed something
Mm-hmm.
they don't notice, and this point it might support our argue. I
Mm-hmm.
will show you. Just a second.
Okay.
Did you see?
You shared something, brother?
Yes, yes. Did you see or not?
Uh, Not, brother. Not yet.
Because they said
Oh,
you are
okay.
screening.
Yeah, I will have to close the first sharing, then it will. Let me close the first one, then it will show me. Let me close the first one, brother. Now you can share and I will. Yes. Now I can see.
Did you see?
Yes. Does.
Okay.
Hmm.
Did you see this one?
It's page 46. Yes. 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 Yes.
There is a really positive.
Yes. Yes. I can see.
This is yeah. This is supposed to be a word from someone. Okay.
Uh huh.
Also, if you can see, and it's more than one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
You see the different here. It was italic. It's to the side,
Hmm.
and here it wasn't.
Hmm.
Could we use this point because it's come and come in the same pieces?
Yes.
Could
Yes. Yes.
we use this point to clarify that we are submit the wrong uh, the wrong chapter we should submit?
Yes. We can. I will encourage it. Yes. Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, we will say we submit wrong, and And
Hmm.
as a proof, if you check
Yes, yes.
like as a proof, if you check like page number, let's say 48, you will find a talk that from a manager and non-sub supervisor, and
Hmm.
also you will have non-supervisor. And this kind of writing, it doesn't be, it's not supposed to be in the thesis.
No, no, it's
The
yes.
thesis,
Hmm.
the thesis is supposed to be in the same line, and in the same writing and the same everything.
Exactly,
That will show
brother.
you, yeah,
Exactly.
that will show you it's not that chapter and this thesis. It's not supposed to be the main one we want to submit. It's
Hmm.
happened by mistake.
Hmm. 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 Exactly.
Do you agree? Do you agree or not?
Yeah, I will agree, brother. I will agree with it.
It's something I noticed yesterday. It was,
Hmm.
maybe we should use this one, because you see, if you see this one, it was, what do
Hmm.
you call this? I don't know what's the meaning of. It's a side word like this.
Hmm.
We are in fourth, but also we can see here.
Hmm.
This is will show the one who is looking. Actually, as a student, first of all, it's not supposed like this one,
Hmm.
because in thesis we should write in the same hand, in the same
Yeah.
hand. What do
Yeah,
you
in
call
the same
time?
sequence. Yes.
Yeah, the same sequence. It doesn't supposed to be like this.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is was a draft.
Hmm.
This is was, let's say, it was it was a draft.
Hmm. Hmm.
It wasn't the last version that
Yeah.
we should
Yeah.
add.
Yeah. It will support. Yes. 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 I'm getting your point, and even I didn't notice it because we are all human beings, and no
Yes.
one is expert. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point, and they can see it by themselves also. No, inshallah, they will. We will get time from them, and inshallah,
Inshallah.
inshallah,
And
brother, and don't worry, don't worry.
inshallah, Allah Kareem. Any advice, any word, any comment?
Brother, the only comment is to read the thesis again and again and try to use more research words, empirical type, research type words. And inshallah, when your wording will be more like a researcher, then definitely that they will understand that this person has done a lot of work. And besides, we also need to convince them that we were not in a normal state. Even the whole world was not in normal state during those days, and we had to manage a lot of difficult times, and we had to manage the job and corona effect and the thesis, so everything was going parallel, and we have done this work by ourselves. That's why we are here to defend this. So inshallah things will be in our favor, brother.
Even they argue about the interviews and coding and the expert.
Hmm.
I will say, if I want to hide something, I will not mention it in my thesis.
Yeah, yeah, if
Why I should why I wrote,
hmm.
this people this man is helped me,
Yes.
and why, if
Why?
I
Yes.
if I'm yeah, if I want to hide something, why I should write it?
Why you should write it, and that you have that person with you also,
Yes.
come on for. So if you want to hide, why are you taking this person with you and also writing in the thesis? Inshallah, don't worry, brother, these things go in our favor.
Inshallah, Allah Kareem. Brother,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question? Because it was so difficult days, last days.
Please.
What is your major? It's business.
It's in marketing, brother.
Oh, mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah,
How many years did you start
I
your
start.
PhD?
I started in fall semester 2018.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah,
And
brother.
inshallah, when you will finish?
Inshallah, I am hoping to finish it in the mid of 2021.
2021, mashallah,
Yeah,
tabarakallah, mashallah.
inshallah in the
Uh,
mid of 2021, brother.
insh- Inshallah, I will graduate you, inshallah, bi'idhnillah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Inshallah,
Inshallah,
thank you so much. And
inshallah.
if you ever come to Pakistan, you have to tell me, brother. For sure, you have to tell
Of
me.
course, of
I
course.
will be the guest.
And brother, it will not the last work together. Inshallah, we will work together more and more. Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah, brother, inshallah. And if you come to Pakistan, I will be your host. Your
Thank you so
everything will
much.
be from my side.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and you too. And I hope you're coming, inshallah, to Saudi Arabia if you do Umrah or visit Al Medina, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. May God give me the
Thank you.
opportunity. May Allah give me the opportunity, brother.
Thank you so much, brother. And if you didn't mind, I will make my revision tonight and tomorrow. If I have some question, maybe I will pass it through the WhatsApp or we
No
have a
problem.
quick meeting on the Zoom.
No problem. Anytime, brother. No problem. No problem.
Thank you so much.
Even in
Thank
the
you so much.
midnight, you can text me on WhatsApp and we will
Thank you
get
so
there.
much. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
brother.
brother. Thank you. Take care. Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you doing today? It's finished the sneeze and
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I am much better. You know, I am
Alhamdulillah.
not taking medicine now. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank
My
you,
good
brother.
wishes for your brother also.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.